Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something kind of wild happening in the financial tech space. It turns out that the highest echelons of the corporate world actually run on the exact same social dynamics you probably thought you left behind as a teenager. The only difference? There are billions of dollars on the line. Today's deep dive is proof that no matter how sophisticated the market gets, human nature is still the ultimate driver of business strategy.
Group projects, dress codes, and makeup? Is this high school or high finance? Seriously, as we break down today's news, you're going to see these exact themes playing out in real time. We've got a massive alliance forming that totally ghosts a key player, a strict new workplace rule about how you're allowed to dress and work, and a purely cosmetic makeover designed just to impress onlookers. It's high drama, high stakes, and absolutely crucial for understanding where this market is heading.
So, here's our agenda for today. First up, the stablecoin surprise party. Second, earning your remote privilege. Third, the stock split illusion. And finally, why this matters today. All right, let's dive right in.
Part 1, the stablecoin surprise party.
Okay, so if you've ever been stuck in a massive group project, you know the drill, right? It's usually a nightmare. Someone does all the slides, someone shows up late, and somebody always gets accidentally left off the group chat. Well, in the crypto space, a group project just launched that is literally disrupting an entire industry overnight. We're talking about the Open USD Alliance. And guys, this isn't just a handful of startups getting together. This was launched by over 140 of the biggest names in finance in a single afternoon. You got legacy payment giants like Visa and MasterCard, fintech darlings like Stripe, the world's largest asset manager BlackRock, and crypto behemoth Coinbase. When 140 heavy hitters of this caliber abruptly team up to build something, you absolutely have to pay very close attention to what they're up to.
And here is why this alliance is such a massive deal. The traditional stablecoin model, it's basically one single issuer hoarding all the interest from the treasury bills that back the coin, kind of like a dragon sitting on a pile of gold. But Open USD totally flips the script. There are zero minting fees, absolutely no redemption caps, and the yield is actually split among the partners who are driving the volume. They're sharing the wealth, which is frankly the one thing traditional stablecoins almost never do.
So, the million-dollar question here is, who isn't on that list of 140 partners? Well, conspicuously missing from this massive group photo is CRCL. They're the issuer of USDC and essentially the incumbent royalty of the stablecoin world. And believe me, the market noticed this glaring exclusion right away. Because they were left off the invite list for this massive industry shift, CRCL stock plummeted by as much as 16% on the news. I mean, it's basically the stock market equivalent of finding out about an epic surprise party only because you weren't invited to it.
But you know what's really fascinating here? Coinbase's role in all of this. Coinbase signed up for Open USD, which is a direct head-to-head rival to CRCL's USDC. The kicker? Coinbase already splits reserve revenue with CRCL on USDC. So, this isn't just hedging your bets. It's literally bringing a date to prom and then texting someone else the whole night. It really just goes to show that in high finance, loyalty only extends as far as the next lucrative yield-sharing agreement. Moving on to Part 2, earning your remote privilege. For the last 5 years or so, the fintech unicorn Revolut has been selling remote-first working like it's a core personality trait of their brand. They sold that ultimate digital nomad fantasy. Join us, work from a beach in Lisbon, log on from a cool hostel somewhere, and just live the dream. But it looks like the era of the automatic, day-one digital nomad is officially coming to a close. Revolut just laid out a brand new progression, starting in 2027, specifically targeting new grads and interns. And it treats employment almost like a corporate video game. Step 1, you join their talent program. Step 2, you got to work in an office at least 3 days a week for your entire first year. Only then do you reach Step 3, where you finally earn the same remote flexibility that everyone else already has. You literally have to put in your time before you earn the right to work in your sweatpants. So, the translation here? You can totally have that work from Bali life, but first, you've got to prove you can actually find the office. Revolut's new reasoning actually lines up perfectly with the growing trend we're seeing among CEOs. We've watched banking leaders, like Jamie Dimon, go on a pretty well-documented crusade against remote working young professionals, arguing that early career employees really need to be in a room with adults to learn the ropes. The big takeaway for us? Flexibility is shifting from a starting perk to a loyalty reward. You've got to log your hours in person before you can log them from a hammock. All right, let's jump to Part 3, the stock split illusion. Today, the card-issuing fintech Marqeta finalized a 1-for-4 reverse stock split.
Now, if you aren't completely fluent in corporate spreadsheets, let's break down exactly what that means. A reverse stock split is essentially taking multiple shares and just smushing them into one. This multiplies the price per individual share, sure, but it keeps your overall total stake in the company exactly the same.
Let's actually look at the math here. Say before the split, you hold 4 shares at a price of X. Your total value is 4X. Pretty simple. After Marqeta's 1-for-4 split, you now only hold 1 single share, but the price of that share magically quadruples to 4X. The total value of your investment? Still exactly 4X. Nothing fundamental about your ownership has actually changed at all.
To put it in everyday terms, doing a reverse stock split is kind of the financial equivalent of asking for the bill to be split 4 ways at a restaurant and then realizing you're still just paying for your own meal. I mean, the numbers on the receipt might be moved around, but the amount of money leaving your wallet is completely identical.
So if it doesn't actually change the underlying value, why did Marqeta even bother doing it? Well, shareholders approved it as just standard governance housekeeping. It absolutely does not change the business fundamentals, but what it does do is fix the optics. By artificially quadrupling the share price, the stock suddenly stops looking like a cheap penny stock when retail investors pull it up on their brokerage app screenshots. In today's market, where perception is reality, a reverse split is basically just a cosmetic personality makeover.
Which brings us to part 4, why this matters today.
Let's do a quick recap on what we've learned today about optics and alliances in the modern market. Circle paid a massive, immediate 16% price just for being left off an industry-shifting invite list. Revolut showed us that remote work is being completely reframed across the industry, going from a day-one perk to an earned privilege. And Marqeta, they just rearranged their financial furniture purely to look better on paper. In every single one of these stories, perception, optics, and who you're allied with are what's really driving the major decisions and the real-time market reactions.
Which leaves us with this final thought to ponder. If a 140-company alliance can assemble in a single afternoon and instantly disrupt the business model of an industry giant like Circle, is any business model out there really safe from sudden disruption? It's a pretty stark reminder that in finance, the ground beneath you can shift in a matter of hours. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this look at the data helped clear up some of the noise. Keep questioning the optics, and I'll catch you next time.